So something pretty significant just happened, and I wanted to talk to you about it very quickly. It didn't make it into my video. I just saw this article after I had already done the day's videos. Yeah, the cabinet ministers in Ukraine have dismissed all 6 of the deputy defense ministers. Now, not Umarov, he's the actual defense minister, but all 6 of his deputies. That includes Hannah Malyar, which is a name that is probably familiar if you've been reading a lot about what's going on in Ukraine. And so all of them have been dismissed just immediately. Now, there's about 3 different ways that you can interpret this. The first, the RT Russian propaganda version, will be something along the lines of there was this failing counteroffensive. They've failed again and again. They couldn't possibly pull this off, and so they had to do something to pull the plug because these guys couldn't do the job. I don't think that that's it. The second interpretation, and a fairly logical one, would be that there was corruption, but I don't think it's corruption either. I don't know that there's any reason that any of these 6 are corrupt, but it could be. So Defense Minister Umarov talked about how in his first address, where he was talking about his strategic priorities, talked about corruption. And he said, corruption, there will be a zero tolerance policy for corruption. So it could theoretically be that, but I don't think that's it. I think it's preparing for Zelensky's trip to the United Nations and United Nations and Washington this week. There's a NATO summit coming down, but I think before we get there, they're showing that they're clearing house, just like they're going to be showing militarily that they're trying to make progress. They're going to try to show that politically they're making progress. They're preparing this, and all the conditions are right. All that we need is your help. I think that's what's going to be happening. So that's what's happened. All 6 not under secretaries, that's our term in the United States, deputy defense ministers in Ukraine have been dismissed. All right, I'll keep you updated with what I know, but this is important because personnel is policy, and so these kind of changes can make a significant difference. Thank you for your time. I'm sorry about interrupting you and not doing this in the regular video, but I think it's important to understand.